Yahshua and Najee.
Yourself.
Yahshua.
Islam.
Welcome aboard.
Well, if you're just familiar with this show, what we do, we deal with the esoteric, occult, and we deal with a lot of ancient science. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we have conversations on in this forum here. We have conversations on entomology. We have conversation on mythology, and whatever ones want to bring to the table, we speak on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we despookify a lot of concepts that people have misconcepts of. Like the brother today is going to give us some insight on the esoteric meaning of revelations.
Right? Yes, I'm gonna do my best. You can say I'll be doing this off the top of my head, but I have some pretty good insight on what a lot of the symbology means behind a lot of the things that they talk about in the scripture. For instance, the 7 candles. Well, anytime when you see 7, which is, perfection, you know what that's talking about. It's talking about our 7 chakras, most likely. And, 7 candles, obviously that would be the 7 chakras. And when they're talking about all these different beasts coming out of the sea, well, they're really describing the zodiac, all the different animals of the zodiac, which would be describing all the different type of man and women or human beings on the planet. There's 12 type of people on the planet because we're all born in one of those 12 zodiacs, every last one of us. So when we're born, the stars and the sun and the moon and the whole universe is positioned in a certain way, beaming your ass into this 3rd dimension. And so so there's a lot of significance about that. And plus the whole thing, the revelation, it's not talking about anything out there. Nothing in that Bible is really talking about anything outside of us. It's talking about, like we say, an alchemical process that's going on inside of us. And then whatever's going on inside of us, obviously, is going to materialize on the physical realm.
Right.
Because the universe is mental. That's the first law of Tahuti. And this is what Revelation is kind of teaching us as well, that this is all mental. This is something that you must mentalize. But, we're all taught wrong on just about everything. We were only taught to look at the surface, to look at everything on the outside. We weren't taught to go inward and look at the occult, the inner meaning. Because if we do that, then we're going to start, oh my God, you're going to have so many revelations about everything. It's going to be kind of hard to control a mass of people that have insight on who they really are. Because now you can't fool them into believing or accepting you can't get them to accept the timeline outside of their true timeline that they've been able to do so far. However, our real true power comes in when we are aligned in our true timeline. That's when you're on your own true schedule. mentally, physically, economically, and I mean, in just about every aspect. When you're not on that, the same schedule that the masses are on, when you're not on the same mental paradigm. Now you're thinking, you're learning to know thyself. When you know thyself, you can't help but go a different way than where the masses is going, because the masses don't know thyself. And so the masses are going to go where you go when you don't know thyself.
They're running from themselves. They're running from themselves, right? They're doing anything but facing themselves.
Yeah, because that's one of the most scariest things you can ever do, is face your real true self.
Right.
Yeah.
Is usually referred to as facing your dark side.
Yeah. But at the same token, once you do it, it can be one of the most liberating too.
Facing your demons. People don't realize that those are codes. Those are allegories. When they're saying face your demons, and those are allegories. Those are speaking of how you have to do like inner work within yourself to basically put certain aspects of yourself in check. Mostly your lower self desires, put it in check and balance it and put it in a state of ma'at, to where you're not driven by it. You're not driven by it, and you're not allowing it to manipulate you. You're just allowing it. It seems like it's like how somebody gave me an idea of how to look at thoughts. It's like a river.
You're observing it. You're observing it.
You just let it flow.
Yeah, you're experiencing.
Let it flow, and as you let it flow, you can, when you see, people are in magic, right? They want to be able to manipulate in magic, and it's not necessarily what is the intent. When you're doing magic, the intent is to connect yourself to the natural flow of things, right?
Yeah.
So that you can, if you connect yourself to the natural flow of things, then maybe you can make things outside of the normal conceptual or conceivable things that we're able to do. You're able to do things outside of that, because
you have.
What happens is that you can, because what happens is, in this present state of humanity, we're not even accessing all of reality right now. We're not like they said, there is a version of a portion of our brain that we're not even using. There's a portion of our DNA that's not even being utilized. So we're not experiencing it to this totality at this point. So what we're saying is, as you do the work within, you get more and more to break down the illusion and get to experience this reality and its totality more and more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I have to agree with that, from experience. Yeah. Yeah, the only way to know.
The brother asked the question. It said, "Is magic verbal or thought?" It's both.
Yeah, it's both. It's thought. It's yeah, thought and verbal.
Right.
It's mental.
Both of them intensify whatever intent of the will that you're intending. That's all. Really, all magic is intent of will.
Okay.
So whatever will you want to intend, the intent that a will that you intend to put out there is better. Its potency comes from the thinking of it, the emotions, and the verbal.
Well, that only gets better when you know certain things about your true self, about the universe, where everything came from and where everything goes and come back again. You know, that
The
zero
brother asked
point.
another question. So we're praying to ourselves. You hear me?
I can hear you now. No, you're kind of you faded out. Can't hear you.
Oh, did I? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so the brother asked another question. He said, so we're praying to ourselves. That's a question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But the question is,
But
yeah, are you praying to yourself?
it's really more. I would rather replace praying with communing with our higher selves.
Uh-huh. Or praying as praying from a consciousness of God as God.
Right.
Scientific prayer. Yeah,
So
you have to pray as God. You can't pray as a human.
I mean, if your intent is to make something manifest, then it has to be based in understanding who you actually are. Once you understand who you actually are, then whatever you're praying for, you have to realize that you play a part in making it manifest itself. I mean, and when I say you, I'm not talking about the ego you.
Yeah. Although you do
So,
use that part too. I mean, that is your servant
uh,
to do the work. That ego or your physical self is the servant that serves the higher self that does the work that is necessary so the higher self can express
mhm.
itself. If, assuming I described that correctly.
Well, um, the thing about it is, are you the higher self or are you the lower self?
Well, me personally, I gave all power over to my Yeshida, the divine spark, the divine will. And then under Yeshida is the Haya, the um, the not the divine, oh, the life force, the divine life force. And then
Right.
after that is the neshama, which is the divine heavenly soul. And then after that, the ruach, which is the soul. And then my earthly soul, the nephesh. So there's 5 levels. So I acknowledge all 5. And each
So
5
you're
represent.
saying you're not neither the higher self or the lower self. You're the essence of both.
Yeah, they're all,
Right.
yeah, one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
nephesh,
the essence of
ruach.
all of who we are. It's like we have to realize the multidimensional aspect of self. We
Yeah.
are multidimensional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the brother asked another question about dreams. What about dreams?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? What about dreams?
Well, that depends on how developed you
All
are.
right. Dreams are very are like, put it like this. People have to realize you spend half of your life dreaming in a state of sleep, right? So that's how significant dreams actually are in your existence.
Well,
Because
actually, that's the real
I
world.
think, yeah, the dream world is the actual real world. That's
Yeah.
right,
And this is the dream.
right,
We're in the dream. The dream is the real world.
right. The dream is the look. I was watching and this is, like I said, I'm always suggesting programming to watch. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. That new He-Man, Masters of the Universe. They got a new version of it on Netflix right now.
Oh yeah.
So check that out.
I like to check out Skeletor.
Yeah. I mean, right. And that's another thing that they're getting into, and how these characters represent aspects of self too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they getting into that and on this show too, on how they're changing up the normal way we would perceive these characters and personalize them and everything. It's crazy how they doing that. But in this new He-Man show, what were we talking about before then? We was talking about higher and lower self. And
yeah,
they did an excellent episode on higher and lower self on
someone asked about it.
Yes, it was deep. They really I think it was episode 3. Go check that out. The new He-Man on Netflix. But also, okay, I'm living in the higher and lower self. I'm living in the higher and lower self. Well, I think I would say the higher and lower self is just aspects of consciousness or aspect states of being. The higher and lower self are states of consciousness.
Yeah, your conscious mind represents your lower self.
Oh yeah, brother. No doubt. I'm glad. I appreciate your support, brother. Your brothers is for supporting this shit. Good looking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But me personally, I would say that the higher lower self is aspects of my consciousness, the way I can observe my world. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's like we are the all spark. You know what I'm saying? We are the all spark. All of us are a result of the all spark, the original spark that, you know what I'm saying, created all things. So I mean, at the end of the day, I reiterate that every episode because I'm going through a process of alchemic process of basically putting that ego in its proper context, basically. Putting the ego in the proper context. I see the necessity of the ego though. I see that the ego is like our it's like a antagonizer. Or it's an antagonist. It basically it polarizes your reality to where you have to make a decision. Either you're going to fall into temptation or cardinal thinking, or you're going to realize that it's bigger than this. It's a multi-dimensional reality. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the challenge everyone is going through is like the work. The work is the main objective. That's the sole purpose. The work, the inner work. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone is not. No one's acceptable to that soul work, man. I mean, no one is accepting to the soul work. Everyone's here to do that soul work. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the brother is probably typing in some other stuff. I work with adults with mental disabilities, so my mind is all over the place. Wow. I mean, I look at mental disorder objectively too, because a lot of this society can be considered a mentally ill patient, right? So, what is the standard? What is the standard that we're judging or governing what is mental illness and what is not mental illness? So, you know what I'm saying? Because if you was to diagnose the society, you would diagnose it as mentally ill, right? Come on now. Come on. You would diagnose the society as mentally ill. So come on. Let's be real. I'm talking about as a collective, we are suffering from some level of, I mean, of course, we already know we suffer from at least a number of pathologies or psychologies. But like one of the ones we're suffering from is is post-traumatic slave syndrome. I'm saying slave syndrome, slave connotation, because we know slave is Slavic and that's a nationality, but that's a actual mental sickness that all so-called black people are suffering from at this particular moment. And it's because of false history that has been told to us for so many years. We have a trauma. We are traumatized by the level of this mistreatments. We are traumatized by the level of injustice that we see right on front. Because our nature is is naturally it should be some justice. So that's traumatizing when we don't see justice. You feel me? I mean, to look at us, we to the point where we keep expecting justice. You feel me? Ain't that mentally when you keep on expecting something to get the same result? That's the definition of mentally ill.
That's mental illness.
So right, so we all suffering from a level of mental illness, and it's just if the different levels of it. Some people are functional in their mental illness. Some people are not functional. You know what I'm saying? I'm very sympathetic to the mental ill because at the end of the day, we are the biggest sufferers of that right now. So-called black people are suffering of mental illness right now. You know what I'm saying? And we have to solve it. You know what I'm saying? We can't think somebody else is going to solve our problems for us. And that's another form of the mental illness right there. That's another example of the mental illness. We somehow think the problems in our community are going to be solved somewhere else, or we don't have to get involved in the solution. You know what I'm saying? But that's cardinal thinking. We talking about occult thinking right now. So you know, you got to balance it out because at the end, we are cardinal beings at the same time of being multidimensional beings. This is all in perspective. When you bring all of it into perspective, then you realize the balance. You begin to balance yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Because we even in the circle 7, it talks about how we have a soul to exist on the soul plane, a spirit to exist on the spirit plane, a physical body to exist on the plane the thing manifests. You know what I'm saying? So that right there shows you that we exist simultaneously on multi dimensions. Simultaneously. So this is why sciences like Kabbalah are important, right? And we shun that stuff. We like, oh, that's devil worship. No, that's a system. A system, or it's something like an app, right? But it's a cosmic app to tune your soul up onto higher levels of yourself. It's to tune your soul into higher levels of tune yourself to higher vibrational levels of yourself and aspects of yourself. That's what it is. So if we not utilizing it because the spookiness surrounding it, the superstition surrounding it, don't you see that that's one of the biggest attacks or the biggest weapons they're using against us? The fact that we shun our own science.
Well, what's his name? What's the Crawley? He said to become a master magician, you must know the tree of life inside and out. You must know that tree in and out. Unless you know that Kabbalah, you really can't practice some real bad magic. And I agree.
Right. it's crazy how it's ways that the ancestors gave us this science, just like Tahuti gave us the metaphysical, basically breakdown of the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gave us the metaphysical breakdown of the whole universe, bro.
Yeah.
He's saying that we exist in a multi-dimensional reality, and if you understand these principles, then you can do some real inner work on self, and from the
The universe.
inside, you change the outside. From the
Yeah.
inside, you change the out, or what's
Mm.
perceived to be out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. There's really no outside. It's all inside. It's just,
Right.
yeah, it's all perception. Yeah. Yeah. But like a lot of like the Jews, their Kabbalah is different from ours. Their Kabbalah is different from ours. The difference is their Kabbalah don't come with the Doth. They can't really use Doth in their Kabbalah. So
Why you say
all of
that?
it,
What is that
they don't
based?
have.
Where do you get that from?
Well, Bobby Hemmett,
They don't have the dog. They don't have
huh?
the dog. You talk about D-A. You talk about D-A-A-L. They don't have that.
No, Daath, Doth, Gnosis, the
Yeah.
spirit.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, they don't have that spirit below the first triad, which is Hakma, Kether, Hakma, and Bana. And then you have Doth. And then after Doth, you have creation, because Doth is in the great abyss. It's above creation.
Could you give more insight on that?
Okay. Well, above Kether, you have Ain soft, Ain soft door. And then after that, you have Kether. And then you have Hakma and then Bana. That's the supernal triad. Okay. And then below that, you have the great abyss. And in the great abyss, that's where the spirit Doth is. And then after the great abyss, that's where creation begins. And this is the part of creation that Yaldabaoth controls, the seven heavens. The seven heavens would be the seven spheres below Doth. Hased, Gabora, Tiferet, Yesod, Had, Netzik, and Malkut. And then within those spheres, within the tree, you have 5 Olamans, 5 different universes. So we have 5 different levels of consciousness. Okay, up there in Ain soft door, you have the Olaman of Adam Catman, which is manifests as the primordial Christ. Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancients, the most ancient of days, and Arikampan, the big face, the primordial Christ. Then after that, you have the universe of Atzillah, which manifests as the divine names. And you can throw in whatever divine name you want to use. That's the cosmic Christ. And then below that, you have Doth, the black dot, which is the crown of Zeramtha, the small face, the indwelling Christ. And then after that, you have the beginning of creation, which is creation begins in the Olamant called Berea, which is form, creation, and paradise. Then after that, you have Yetzirah, which is formation. Then you have Ashia, which is where we dwell in. And that's the actual physical world that we live in, which are ruled by,
right.
I forgot the name of the gods or the angels, but the name of God down here is called Adonia. I don't remember. I used to know the names of God on all of the different spheres. But right. Shit, I forgot more shit than most people learn. But that Kabbalah, man, that's some deep shit. You know what? The less people know that, the easier it's going to be for me. Less competition. Because if everyone understood that, well, everybody. Well, I'm just joking, but no, actually, it would be great if we all understood it, because we could change this universe. We could change the universe into something really magnificent. We can be gods again. We could be the gods. We could be the center of the universe again. Shit,
Right.
with the ETs will be bowing down to us.
Right. That's why I was thinking the other. It's like in this particular state we in at this particular moment, these interdimensional entities and what we're referring to as ETs or whatever, they already disclosed that they don't want to interact with us because we on a hostile towards them. They think we're hostile towards them, which we are. We like what happened when they had interaction with them. What did they do? It was a military action that went off.
Oh shit! They fucking nuked us.
They
already, huh? They fucking nuked us.
Who nuked us?
Shit. I mean, there's been ancient. The gods. Shit. In Egypt, that's what they said. At one point, they had to start wearing wigs because their hair was falling out. They needed a lot of gold because of the radiation. Yeah, we had some badass nuclear wars in the past down here before. Shit, that atomic bomb dropped over Japan. That wasn't the first hostile nuclear attack on this planet. Our history is millions and millions of years. They just put us to sleep and woke us up and said, "You only been here since yesterday."
Right, 6,000 years. That's what they say.
Yeah,
that's what they say. I'm just going about what they say, bro.
Yeah, we just got here.
That's totally contrary to the archaeological finds. That's why they have to manipulate archaeology all the time. They have to manipulate because everything that they're digging up is contrary to the science that they're spilling to us.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard they found fingerprints of a human being standing next to a dinosaur not fingerprint, but footprints of a human and a dinosaur together.
Right. Well, and to me, that's why these conversations make it real relevant why we have to restore the Moorish imperial government. Why? Because all of that research let me finish. All of the research that people are doing are other people's governments, so they can skewer the information. They can science right now is not genuine. The science is not genuine. Scientists are being paid off to tell a different story from what they're actually finding.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? They're being paid to tell a different story from what they actually are finding. So we need an independent. If it's not an independent, if it's not an independent group that was sanctioned by a government that we have the power of as a body, then I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm just being honest. I don't trust it at all.
Here's the thing, though. They can always infiltrate shit. Got to be a secret society. Has to be a secret Masonic society. It has to be. Can't be something public. It has to be a secret society.
Right, because if they be public with it, they will be exposed in themselves. If you really if you really think about it, they have a cosmic obligation to actually tell the truth, but they don't have to tell the truth straight up. They don't have to expressively tell you the truth. They can they can tell you the truth, but you have to realize and recognize when they're telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying?
because
So this is in the secret societies are nothing more than custodians or orders that are custodians for our greater science. They're just holding it for us until we wake up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all the see. Come on, I mean, anybody who got something that's even deeper than what I'm talking about, we can go on and go into it. But the secret societies are set up nothing. They were actually literally set up by our ancestors. This be honest.
Yeah, because the white boys didn't have
all of the major. They are right. Because what's the highest degree you can achieve, right? In Freemasonry, 33 1/3, right? What do you become when you become a 33 1/3 Mason, right? What do you become? You become a Shriner. That's the next level, right? You become a Shriner. So when you become a Shriner, are you going to what's called, because Shrinism is associated with the science of Rosicrucianism, right? You go into Rosicrucianism, right? Then you become a Shriner, right? That's the next level once you become a 33 1/3. So what do you learn in the shrine, right? First of all, what is the shrine? A shrine is somewhere you put something to hold it and contain it and make sure it stay polished. Look it up. Look, I'm qualifying what I'm telling you. Look up the word shrine. As a matter of fact, we can do it right now. We need to think the Bible plan, right? They're holding our knowledge.
Here's the definition of shrine. A place regarded as holy because of its associations with a divinity or a sacred person or relic, marked by a building or other construction.
Woo!
Yeah.
So they're holding a great relic, a great. Right. Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah, here you go. I'm gonna look it up too. Okay. No, I'm doing too much on this mother. So, what was the definition you had?
What they gave me. Oh shit! Come on.
What was the definition you had?
What's the definition of the word shrine?
Here's the definition of shrine. A place regarded as holy because of its associations with a divinity or a sacred person or relic, marked by a building or other construction.
Okay. A place regarded as holy because its association with a divinity or a sacred person or relic marked by
association with a divinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's association with a divinity. It's not divine. It's association with something divine. It has an association with something divine. It's not divine.
So it symbolizes something. It's like a symbol.
Right.
Would you say?
That is holding up to in remembrance and reverence to that divine sacred thing that they're holding up as reverence. Watch. Hold up. It's something else. It's something else that was behind the word shrine. Yeah, but this is what the so-called truth, the hidden secret is. The secret is okay, here we go. A place associated with a containing memorialism of memorial laying of particular reverent persons or things. So there, let me see how to pronounce this word. Oh shit. Okay, object, keep, or collect because of their historic interest, right? This is what they're doing. It's memorabilia. They're holding our memorabilia, bro.
Okay. Yeah, they
Right?
can't be remembering them. They'll
Right.
just be
This is what a shrine is. It's a place that contains memorabilium. Right? And memorabilium is objects kept and are objects kept are collected because of their historic interest, uh, especially those associated with memorable people or events. Woo! I just proved my point, bro. You know what I'm saying? They are the secret is they got our science and they're just waiting for us to wake up to reclaim the shit. That's it. That's the secret. That's the big freaking secret. So now get out of here with that extra. Oh, the Illuminati. We the Illuminati. I can prove we the Illuminati. We are the Illuminati. You understand that? Of course. Okay. So people say, oh, there is other groups out here that are conspiring to do secret stuff. Yes, but they are not the Illuminati. That's not meaning that they're claiming the Illuminati means the ones who have the light, right? The illuminated ones, those with the light. Who had the light, bro? You got to ask your question. Who had the damn light? Your ancestors. We had the light that was the beacon of light for the whole planet. That's why everybody will send their nobles, their uh, uh, royalty to Egypt. Right? That was like a rite of passage for them to go to Egypt, even to even be amongst the Moors, to be amongst the to learn mysticism amongst the Moors, bro. To be at the feet. As a matter of fact, you got to understand that the history behind the Renaissance in Europe, or what we're referring to as the Renaissance in Europe, that was some of that light that I'm referring to when I say we the Illuminati, that was entered into Europe when they were going through their dark age. That was Moors going into Europe bringing that light and bringing the Renaissance of Europe, or so-called Europe, which we know is Phoenicia.
Didn't the Dark Ages happen after they ran the wars out? Then when did
no, the Dark Ages was when they were living in that was no. I may mistaken, but I may mistake. I'll be mistaken.
When was the Dark Ages in Europe?
According to Britannica, migration period, also called Dark Ages or Early Middle Ages, the early medieval period of Western European history, specifically, the time, 476 to 800 CE, when there was no Roman emperor in the West, or, more generally, the period between about 500 and 1000, which was marked by frequent warfare and a virtual disappearance.
Right.
That was before that was like all the way up until the Moors came. Right. I guess the Moors brought in. Yeah, you're right. The Moors brought in the Renaissance.
Because what happened was they brought in the Renaissance, right?
Yeah,
and they brought in not only the Renaissance but their seafaring society. When they started becoming seafarers, we brought that science into Europe, and they became now the British Empire could spread its wings, and the British Empire was able to spread its wings from that science, from understanding of that science. But we have to understand that the British are Moors too. These are dark-skinned people too. Right? These are dark-skinned people too. Originally, of course, over time, it became more pale-skinned people that migrated into those areas. But originally, those were heavily dark-skinned, melanated people in those areas. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and you got to understand that what we call the black nobility is talking to is speaking to that bloodline of the dark. Look it up. It says the black nobility is those who are connected to the bloodline of those darker skinned
What is the black
nobles or royalty of Europe.
According to Wikipedia, the black
Not darker
nobility
skin, it said the darker.
Roman aristocratic families who sided with the papacy under Pope Pius IX after the Savoy family-led army of the Kingdom of Italy entered Rome on the 20th of September.
Black nobility or black aristocracy or Roman aristocratic families who sided with the papacy under Pope Pius VII after the Savoy family-led army of the Kingdom of Italy entered Rome on 20th of September. Black nobility or black aristocracy are Roman aristocratic families who sided with the papacy.
See, because that's why I'm loving this class I'm in right now, because it's giving clarity on those wars that were fought between those European nations, not only in ancient and past times, but like the more recent ones and stuff, like not that far back.
See the coat of arms?
Right. Right.
Uh-huh. I guess that was, that something that was for their time, for their.
You can see.
Oh, they cut you off, man. They cut me off.
Are you still there?
You're back. No, you're gone. I thought you guys.
Well, you can also study like the makeup of the areas, right? Going to the cheddar man, of how they dug up and they dug up this skull they called it Cheddar Man, and when they did the description or they did the phenotypical type of his man, it was a brother. It was a brother, man. You feel me? When they finished doing the sculpture of how they perceived he would look, you know what I'm saying? It was a brother. It was just a brother with like a straighter hair texture, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like and when you go to Asia, you see dark skin, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters that basically got tight eyes and got afros. For real, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people don't even consider that Buddha got cornrows.
Well, Buddha's black.
That's not right. I'm just saying that's evidence that he is a brother.
Yeah.
That's evidence that he's a brother because Asians don't have cornrows. Their hair texture is not equipped to hold cornrows.
And then you have
that had to be a brother.
And then you have that temple of Inkawat too, in where it's Cambodia,
North America. No, that is Cambodia. You're right.
Yeah, it's one of the most remarkable structures on the planet. This place is huge. It's huge. I think this is like 30 miles long or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was before the British conquered the world, there was many different type of civilizations on this planet that had all type of different technologies for agriculture or whatever. But after, the conquerors came, they destroyed all that shit. And they burned up all of the artifacts, all of the books, all of the information, and brought in the church and the Bible, Christian.
Right. I mean, this is how they have been able to enslave the mass majority of the planet, is under those papals that the Pope had issued, that everyone under those decrees were subjects of the Pope. You gotta go into the Treaty of Verona. The Treaty of Verona between the British monarch at the time, and the Pope, right? Where basically, because what we're calling the British monarch is what we call the British Empire, basically has been given sanction by the Catholic Church to colonize how they colonize. They've been given sanction by the Catholic Church.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
And so in the name of the Pope, who's really God in flesh on earth, huh?
Well, that's his claim.
Yeah,
that's his claim.
Yeah,
that's his claim.
Based on his manifesto.
Right, that's his claim, which we know.
Based on.
And the whole thing about it is, the Catholic Church has to be one of the most wickedest organizations on the planet Earth, but yet people are under some type of spell that makes them ignore that.
You're right, because they're a bunch of magicians and wizards. Fucking
for real, like. And my thing is, I know that they into some wicked magic and shit, because I listen to that bell that rings every
oh shit, you faded out.
You should check bell have an eerie feel to it when I hear it. You ever felt that when you heard that?
I may have heard it, but you should probably check out some of their new architecture on the inside, some new stuff that they built inside of the Vatican. It's very spooky, really, really, really spooky. These guys,
right?
They're not bound down to no Jesus or praying to no Jesus. They're praying to something else.
Hell, no, they get that. No, you're right. They give that to the masses.
Yeah, they give that to the masses. Yeah, but
they give that
deep down,
but they practicing some real wicked science back in. You feel me? They doing some real wicked shit in that
real wicked shit.
Why you think they see people thinking it's just based in some freaky bullshit with the whole pedophilia and stuff. No, they're using these children for all type of rituals, man.
For energy.
You know what I'm saying? Remember they said they found all these bodies under some pope's house or something, like this old pope, something like that. I may be mistaken. Allegedly, man. Let me say this. Allegedly, they so-called found all these baby bodies under one of these popes' houses or something like that. Allegedly. Let me keep saying allegedly, because I'm pretty sure I heard a story like that before, brother. This is the wickedness when all these bodies coming up missing. You know what I'm saying? Where you think these bodies is coming going, man?
But see, not only that, but who are the Pope's bodyguards? The Jesuits. The Jesuits.
Right, the Jesuits are the Jesuit
your
priests.
fucking family, your whole bloodline. They will destroy your entire bloodline and save you for last. That's how bad they are. They'll kill your baby in front of you, and your wife, and let you live another day. And then
that would be basically.
But see, the Pope is a pawn, because the Pope get his orders from the gray Pope, who get his orders from the black
Pope, right? The dark Pope. Yeah, the black Pope.
Yeah. And I think they're under the Knights of Malta or something. I'm not sure. But it's the black Pope who's running the shit. But you don't hear about him. Yeah. Illuminati 101. The people that you see that they put in charge are not the real true people who are in charge.
Right. They just there for it. When you study law, you understand that public actually means acting. Those who are public officials, those who operate in the public, they're actors.
Yeah, they're actors.
They're only there for appearances. They're only there for appearances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then because nothing in the public eye is not being everything. Let me say this: everything in the public is being orchestrated.
Yeah,
it's being constructed. It's being engineered. Everything.
Scripted. Yeah, scripted.
It's being engineered. It's being scripted. It's engineered. It's whatever you want to say.
It's Hollywood.
To say that it's appearance. It's acting. Yeah. It's basic Hollywood. It's a production. It's a production.
Yeah, it's a production
that they're putting on.
Yeah, right. And with a form of magic. It's a form of magic.
They've already exposed this already, but they got something called crisis actors. Come on, y'all. Figure this out. Yeah. This is easy to figure out. They give you all the clues. So whatever happens in the public, on the public level, they're going to call it official, right? That's because that's the story that they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Anything else? Did you see the preview? Did you see the preview to the new Matrix?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They clowning, bro. That's all I can say. They clowning. They clowning like a motherfucker right now, man. That's all I can say. They're marketing geniuses, first of all. People behind this stuff, they're fucking marketing fucking geniuses. And people don't even realize, and everything in the public is nothing more than somebody manipulating your mind. Everything is a mental manipulation. Why? Because all is mind, y'all.
Well, yeah, but Bobby Hemmett put it real good. They're manipulating our mind to keep this shit going. They're getting us to keep us to dream, to keep us going. See, as long as we have dreams and we're looking for a better tomorrow, this place will keep going.
Go ahead, brother.
For me? As long as...
You were going out for a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as they're using us to keep this matrix going. You know, as long as we're waiting on a new tomorrow, a better tomorrow, we're focused on this place getting better. This place will always be here, and we will always be their slaves as long as this is here. And we're falling directly into their trap. We're supposed to be turning the magic.
Right, but
Everything that they
it turns like. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
everything that they say is evil, the devil, and destructive. That should be us. They should be talking about us, our thinking. They should be talking about our thinking, not about us personally. You know, personally, we can be very polite and, you know, professional people, but mentally, we're killers. And mentally, we should be killing this place. But, you know, in our regular life, you know, we just be a regular person, just like them. But in the dark, where they can't see, we're supposed to be their worst nightmare. Our thinking, the universe is mental.
Yeah.
So mentally, we're supposed to be putting out the
that.
energy to change this shit once and for all. To shut this shit down and start anew. You know, we supposed to be, we should be representing Shiva, the destroyer.
Signal. Hello, I can't. You went out again. You went out again. I don't know what's going on. I think I get a bad signal right now.
Shit, either that or I'm just talking to myself.
You know what? The thing about it is, this is an Apple computer I'm on, and I'm doing all this on. I'm like, Apple is one of the most sorriest computer I ever interacted with, bro. This is they supposed to be the best. They supposed to be the best, right?
Yeah.
But no, they weak, bro. Just like the iPhone, that shit is whack. I don't see what people see. I don't see what's the hype behind this shit, man. Like, Apple is whack. That shit is whack as hell. I get way more better results on my PC.
Yeah, because this thing, I'm here all by myself.
What you mean you hear it by yourself? I hear you.
You hear me? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you. No, you ain't by yourself. I'm on here too.
Oh,
going in and out because the signal. I think it's because of the signal, but I'm saying it's mainly because of this Apple computer is really not capable of handling all of this stuff that I'm doing. Because I'm also, while we're broadcasting, I'm also transferring USBs right now, transferring data from one USB to another. At the same time, I figure that's what's slowing it down and making the signal go in and out. I don't know.
Okay. Well, in other words, we're really getting radiated here.
Yeah, we actually. I put a shield over my body to block out radiation.
Yeah, we should be. Yeah,
my body. I know y'all. He crazy. Oh, he crazy. Okay. Like I said, what did we originally say? What's the standard of crazy when you live in a society that's crazy like this? What's the standard? If I'm crazy, what does that mean about the society? And what does that mean about you then?
Yeah.
Right.
It makes me wonder, is the crazy sane and we're the ones crazy? Did they wake up and we're still sleeping?
I think a lot of mental illnesses that they're diagnosing, that like schizophrenia, to me, I think these people are just sensitive to other realms, or they can just hear things on other realms of existence, and a lot of times that's what it be. And we can, of course, modern psychology is going to break it down to, oh no, they just have split personalities or whatever.
They're completely atheistic. Okay, so they don't. The spirit and all that stuff is completely out. But that's what psychology means: study of the spirit, study of the soul. But you have soulless people that devoid of soul, studying the soul and diagnosing the soul, but they're soulless. They don't even believe in the soul. So they're not able.
That's kind of.
Hmm? So they're not able to address the thing. They're not able to properly address the mentally ill correctly because shit. Look at the way they're running the world. They're kind of mentally ill in a functional, very, very functional way.
Low functional, like very low functional. It's like a lot of stuff I can see, and I'm not even a genius. Like, if you can say I'm a genius or I'm not a genius, I don't consider myself a genius. But I see a lot of things that really are solvable, are very solvable, and they're really beneath us if we really think about it. But we keep on suffering from these things. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because
I'm not no genius in that sense, but
are those things
I see a gang of solutions. Huh?
Yeah. But are these things profitable? And if they're not profitable, then they're not.
Yeah, motivation. That's the motivation. It's because humanity's well-being is not profitable.
No, it's not.
I mean, for them, like, no. If they were like, this is what I tell people all the time. What would be the need for police officers if there was no crime?
There would be no need, but see,
so what would be the need? What would be the need for a doctor if you can heal yourself? There will be no need. So they have to provide the need. They are advocates for the need of it. They're not like, they will give you the impression that they're advocates against it ever being. But if you ask a police officer right now, if you ask a police officer right now, do you want a world with no crime? He's gonna probably be like, oh yeah, I want a world with no crime. Well, that means you don't have no job.
Yeah, you don't have you have to think of a new reason to exist.
Okay. Right? What'd you say?
He would have to think of a new reason to exist. Yeah, but the whole system, there's something wrong with the whole system for the fact that we have to have police and we have to have the doctors, is because there is no acknowledgement of the soul in this system.
Well, the reason for police, you can find the reason for police by studying the social DNA from which police come from. What am I talking about? The social DNA from which police come from are what? The slave patrols.
Oh, well, I thought the police was something that came from Rome. And the sheriff and all that shit. I thought that shit.
Which is, are you doing is add to my argument. Thank you. Right? Because
okay.
What's the most?
Oh shit, we're going way in and out. I'm not hearing nothing.
This is what they trying to live up vicariously off the footprints of Rome in the what you call the fascist way that society was in Rome. So yeah, all this is a modern day Rome.
Yeah.
We're
in Egypt too.
Not not totally, but most people have, you know what I'm saying, conquering. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Over the
little
land.
Rome. It's a little bit of Rome and Egypt together, and a little bit of Greece, ancient Greece, but it's a lot of Rome and Egypt together.
Right. Right. And we have to consider that the first Romans were dark skinned people too.
Yeah,
They the ones
Etruscans.
started the society.
Now, another thing you got to consider the story of the story in the Bible of the children of Israel being held slave in Egypt. Now, is that talking about something that happened in the past, or is that talking about something happening in the future? And is the Egypt talking the children of Israel being held slavery in Egypt? Is that something that happened in the past, or is they talking about something that's going to happen in the future?
Well, I think a lot of these stories are interchangeable to time periods because we keep living these same cycles over and over again as humanity. So you can see that it's like you're seeing the same cycle over and over again.
Yeah. Okay, so it's talking about different cycles.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
That's why when we were bringing up
I'm having a real hard time hearing you.
What? I know I'm getting a bad signal, so I think I'm gonna end it though.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna end it because I'm getting a bad signal too.
Yeah, it's
real.
Can
you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna end.
I hear you.
But I mean, I'll be as soon as we start getting into some, you know what I'm saying, that I have some insight on, then we got to end, man. So
yeah, I know.
I do want to get ready for my other show that I do. Mind you, everyone out there, I do another show on Mixcloud. You know what I'm saying? DJ Big Stern at Mixcloud. So check me out on that. DJ Big Stern on Mixcloud. You know
BJ, well, you can send me a link of that.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna end it. We'll be back right next Saturday, 7:30 again, brother.
Yes, absolutely.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I said absolutely.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. This thing is all messed up, man. Yeah,
I was just saying. We'll be back next Saturday at 7:30, right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I was just saying absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I know. We got it's a real bad signal, bro, and I think it's because I'm doing something extra on this computer too. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm getting ready to leave the studio. Adios.
Or anything of that nature. We just speaking from our experience, and of course, we've done a lot of research too. So, speaking from that research. All right. Peace.